Entrepreneurs, business owners, hustlers, my good people. My name is Mxolisi Knowledge and welcome back to Small Business Matters. Entrepreneurs, as promised, today we are starting our business or our product development journey. And we are going to start with the minimum viable product, the MVP. Entrepreneurs, buckle up. I believe this is one of the most important episodes of Small Business Matters. You know it, don't waste time. Let's go straight into it. So, we're going to start with the definition of this minimum viable product. What is the MVP? So we're saying this is the most basic version of a product. It includes only the essential fixtures as well as functionalities. So these are the fixtures that are needed for the product to actually work. So this is not the final product, but it is also the product that delivers the value proposition that is needed by your customers. It is not the final product, entrepreneurs. It is still there to be improved. It is still there to be modified. It is still there to receive the comments of the customer so that it is made the final product. So now, what is going to be the difference between the MVP as well as the prototype? So the prototype, unlike the MVP, the prototype is just there to show the people that this is what the product will look like. But you cannot use a prototype. A prototype doesn't have the functionalities of a product. It may have the features just to show, but it will not always have the functionalities of the product. This means now it will not meet the value proposition or it will not solve the problem of the people because it is not functioning. Whereas the MVP, although it doesn't have some of the things that the final product will have, but it functions and it solves the problems that your people are facing. So now the example would be maybe if you talk about a car, does it have an engine? Does it have a steering wheel? Can it actually move? Can it take you from point A to point B? It might not have a sunroofer. It might not have leather chairs because those are just the modifications that will need to be done. But can it actually provide the much needed value to the customers? And the answer is yes. And that qualifies as the minimum viable product. Moving forward, entrepreneurs, to another example so that you understand it before we can actually move forward. So here we used an e-commerce startup. So here you are planning to build a local marketplace for small businesses. So here we focused on the area of Umlazi. This e-commerce store will service the people of Umlazi. So this is where residents will go in, buy before it actually becomes a nationwide or a worldwide business. So we're saying this will improve the usability, the customer experience, the engagement, as well as the interest of a particular customer segment. So if you are targeting the people who are in Accra in Ghana, you are targeting the people who are in Nairobi in Kenya, you are targeting the people who are in Ladysmith in KZN, the people who are in Kailicha, you are going to start with the people who are in Umlazi, see if it works, see what changes need to be done. Can the people actually use this particular product? That also qualifies it as the MVP. Sort of testing out the product while the people will actually pay for the thing, while the thing will also provide the much needed value or it will solve the problem that your people are facing. So now, entrepreneurs, you've got the idea of what the movable or what the minimum viable product is. We're now going to go straight to the MVP design canvas. Do you remember when we did the business model canvas? Yes, now we're going to do yet another canvas. This will show you exactly how, if you want to build the MVP, what are the aspects that you need to look at in order to actually build this product. Again, let's go straight into that. So the first aspect of building the movable or the minimum, I don't know why I keep saying movable, the minimum viable product design canvas. So as you are designing, so firstly, for those who didn't watch our episode on the business model canvas. Basically, the canvas is when you're looking at the most critical or important aspects of building something. At the time, I think it was our first or second episode, we're looking at the most important aspects that you need to look at if you want to create a business model or just want to understand your own business. So here we're looking at, in terms of creating the MVP, what are those aspects that you need to look at just to make it simpler for you guys out there. So the first one is the early customers. So here you need to identify the specific group or individuals of or organizations that will be your early customer. Looking in our example above, we looked at the people of Umlazi. So those will be your early customers. Those are the people that you're going to go to first with this MVP that you are building. So if you want to build this product, if you want to build this new cell phone, who are you going to versus who are you targeting? If you are targeting the world market, this means now maybe you can start with the South African market. So the South African market will be your early customers. These are the people who will be the early adopters, who will benefit from this product that you are building. And these are the people who are going to show you by their demand as well as their usability whether this product actually works or not. And then secondly, we are going to look at the unmet needs. So now you have your early customers, right? So now what you need to look at is what are the needs that they have, but that no business has actually targeted. Do you remember when we spoke about the blue ocean market? So it sort of comes back in when it comes to the unmet needs. Because here you look at the things that no one is servicing, but it is needed in terms of your customers or your early customers. So it is very important to check what has been targeted and serviced and what has not been serviced. So it is very important for you to go to the areas where no one is servicing, because you are going to become the go-to business for that type of solution when it comes to your customers. And then thirdly, now the solution itself. Now you know your early customers, now you know as well as ama unmet needs were. So now from the unmet needs, what are you going to create in order to meet those needs that are not serviced? So now you are deciding on the product itself or the solution itself. If this is the problem that they are facing, this is the solution that I am going to provide, which becomes your movable, your minimum viable product, which in the long run can even become your main business model. But here you are looking at the solution that's going to meet with the needs of these people that no one is servicing at that particular time. And then fourthly, in our aspects of building the MVP, we're going to look at a value proposition. Value proposition entrepreneurs is always there because it is so important when you're building a business that you form some kind of a value that you're going to provide to your customers. It is very, very important that you understand what value are you providing for your customers. So now looking at the value proposition in terms of the design canvas of the MVP. So now you need to explain the unique value your MVP offers to your elite customers. So if you know the unique selling proposition or the unique selling point, it is usually called the USP. What is it that you're coming with that is different when it comes to your business? Or what value are your customers getting from you as a business? What sets your business apart or your product apart from all other solutions that they currently have or all other products that they currently have in the market? It is very important that you know what value comes with your products that you are giving to your customers or to your targeted audience. Next, we are going to look at the unfair advantage. So now, this is my favorite. They're saying this section is where you identify any competitive advantages or unique attributes that give your product an edge over potential competitors. So when you speak about the competitive advantage, we speak about maybe the strengths that you have compared to your people. The reason why it's called the unfair advantage is because it's something that they cannot compete with you when it comes to. It is very important that you find that one thing that your competitors do not offer, which will become the reason the people or the customers will choose you over your competitors. So it is very important, entrepreneurs, that you know exactly what is the unfair advantage or the competitive advantage that you have compared to your customers. This could include technology, partnerships, expertise, or the factors that make it difficult for others to replicate your solution. For example, if you go to pitch your business maybe to VCs, they are going to ask you what is unique about your product or your service. So it is so important that you know what is the unfair advantage or the competitive advantage that you are coming up with in your product or in your service that you are offering your target audience. Moving forward to the early metrics. So now you are defining the key performance indicators, the KPIs, or the metrics that you use to measure success of your MVP. So now, why is this aspect important? This aspect is important because it's going to tell you whether this MVP is worth turning into a final product. So this is how you will know whether to continue with that product or not. Why am I saying that? Is because when you are using or you are servicing your early customers, the usability or the engagement, the satisfaction of your early customers will actually tell you whether to continue exploring this product or not. Going back to our example, when you are targeting the people of Umlazi and they do not use your store, your e-commerce store, no traffic comes into your website, are you going to continue servicing other people with that? Who is going to be interested if abantu basemlazi are not interested? So your early customers, the role of your early customers is to tell you whether the other people that you are targeting will also be interested in the product that you are offering. So if the turnout is bad when it comes to your early customers, it might not be advisable that you continue with it because it shows that it's not working for this particular customer segments. So what that is going to tell you is that it's either you stop or you change the customer segment. So if you were targeting the people who live in Umlazi, you know which those are Black African people. You know which most of them are middle class. So if that is not working, look for a different business model. Go to Durban North, where you will find colored people, where you will find Indian people, where you will find white people. Maybe they are the ones who are actually the customers for that product. So this means now if you're going global, if you're going to America, you know that you're not targeting African American, but you are targeting white American. because those are the people who are actually finding your minimum viable product useful. Now, lastly, in your canvas, you have your key assumptions. They are saying list the assumptions that underpin your MVP. These are the hypotheses you are testing with your product. By identifying and documenting these assumptions, you can determine which ones are critical to your product success and focus on validating them. So, with the assumptions, my understanding or my advice to you entrepreneurs, basically the most important thing to focus on is the turnout of your product. So the turnout will determine whether this product is useful to the people or not. The turnout, I repeat, will determine whether the product will be useful to your people or not. So it is very important that you know exactly what are the key assumptions that define your MVP. So, entrepreneurs, that will be all from me, Mxolisi Knowledge and Small Business Matters this week. I hope that you will find this episode extremely important in your business as well. From me, Mxolisi Knowledge, until next time, cheers.